Cloud, yes. Yeah, man. Happy fourth.
Happy Fourth, Tom. How
So
are
we're
you?
on this, and you know you're right. I have usually around the fourth, you see like fireworks everywhere and being sold, and people are all gung ho. People are wearing red, white, and blue, and then
Mhm.
but this year, I didn't really notice it until you said it, and then reflected back. Like it doesn't seem as patriotic this year.
Seems like a weird year, an odd year for the Fourth.
Y-
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think that's just because of what's going on with our country and in the world, and
Yeah. And maybe it's just locally because we're like under a semi-tropical depression, so we're getting like torrential rains every day.
yeah.
Um, so it's different. It's different
So
this
I
year.
don't know.
Well, anyway, it's okay. Happy birthday, America.
America, yeah.
Happy birthday. 249.
Hmm.
Next year, will be old enough to drink alcohol or something. I don't know.
Listening on the radio, they were just talking about how just America, just talking about America and like uh, American cheese. It's not even real cheese, you know. Wasn't even made in America. Like it was invented by a Canadian or something,
All right.
right?
I saw a TikTok yesterday that it was so funny. This Canadian is celebrating, and the America's like, "What do you got to celebrate?" You know, and he said, "Well, U.S., what do you have to celebrate?" Well, we're 249 years old. We got KFC and I don't know something else. And the Canadian goes, "Well, we're older than 249. Um, but what is it? Our beer doesn't taste like piss water. And actually Colonel Sanders lived in Canada for 15 years. So take that, America.
Mm.
So and I was like, that can't be. So of course I had to Google it up. And yeah, Colonel Sanders
Mhm.
lived in Canada. I don't know what was going down with the Colonel, but he
Yeah.
chose to go north for this for 15 years.
Well, all right. Hey,
That was a good
whatever,
one.
whatever flips your skirt, you know.
Yeah. So happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day.
Yeah. Shit just wasn't working this morning. Had a
Literally.
had a big hole in the crotch of my favorite jeans. The
Oh.
internet wasn't working that right. It kept cutting off, you know. Didn't do the workout and just didn't feel up to doing it and got in my mind that I wasn't going to do it and just didn't do it, you know. Like
Mhm.
everything, it seemed like my videos were taking forever to load, right?
Some days they be like that, Tom. Some
Yeah.
days they just be like that.
Right.
And
Engine
it's
light
okay.
comes on in the car, like
And that's okay. We talk about on the show a lot that people think that the definition of a happy life is the absence of stress. And
yeah.
that's just ridiculous. We all have stress in our lives. It's just, if you're waiting for that to happen, it's not going to happen. So
Right.
the definition of a happy life is being resilient enough to manage the stress that comes at you every day.
Hmm. Well, it's important to remind yourself of, we talk about the mild inconvenience all the time. To
Mhm.
remind yourself that, you know what, don't let this ruin you. Don't let this ruin your moment, your day, your hour, whatever. Like just roll with it. Just go with the resistance and just do the best you can and it'll get better a little bit later, like
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it's when you panic and when you start getting pissed off and you start throwing shit around the house,
Mhm.
and that's when things get worse.
That whole concept of confirmation bias, like your brain is searching for evidence to support your ongoing theory, right? So if your ongoing theory is today is just crap and I can't believe it and all this crap went wrong
Right.
and it's just going to be a crappy day. Well, your brain is going to seek out evidence to support that
Yeah.
theory, right? So flip that thing around, right? So hey, that sucked. That was terrible. I didn't like that. It's a minor inconvenience, but I'm going to have a great day and continue to move on. Your
Right.
brain's going to search for that evidence. So, and you say that, and people are like, oh, yeah, uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. But it's so true. I mean,
Yeah.
it's very, very true. So perception is reality. So,
Yeah. So I'm in that moment, in that funk where it's like, why can't shit just work, right? And
mhm,
then, I'm putting my shoes on, after I stub my toe 4 times. And then the dogs come up and they nuzzle you and they're like playing and they bring you a toy. Then you get them a treat and they're happy. And then it's like, hey, this is a reminder. Like, nothing's going wrong for them. They're happy. They're
Right.
loving it. They want to spend some time. Like it's just my perception right now that is skewing
Mhm.
things and making things seem like, it's a shit morning. Everything is fucked. And no,
Mhm.
everything's all right. Just
Don't
hit the
let a
reset.
bad 5 minutes turn into a bad hour. Don't let a bad hour turn into a bad day. Don't let a bad day turn into a bad week,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
Well, you remember those we were Nintendo NES guys.
Mhm.
Right? And you remember you had to blow on the stupid thing to get the game to work, and you had to push it up and down like 84 times. And then sometimes you just had to hit the reset button. And I know, people nowadays they can relate to when you have to just like reboot your computer or what happened, or just turn your phone completely off and reboot it because things aren't working properly. We have to find a way for us as humans to hit the reset button. And we have to get good at being able to do that because it's in those moments that we absolutely need to just hit the reset button. And hitting the reset button for you might be like as grand as calling out sick for the day, or it could be like, I'm just going to take 5 minutes and just sit and breathe and just,
Mhm.
hand on my heart, just focus on the breath moving in and out. And that could be the reset button. But you have to find what works well for you. And if you have five or six things that can do it, I've
Mhm.
had it where I go to Wawa and get a damn hash brown. And there's something about
Mhm.
the greasy, crunchy hash brown potato thing that helps me hit the reset button. It's
Mhm.
not the healthiest thing,
Mhm.
but you know what? It gives me a second to just in my truck, just sit and I need
Mhm.
to start this again. Hit the
Yeah.
reset button.
And it's the whole concept of change your view, change your situation, change your mind, move your body, change your mind.
Yeah.
I always kept a toothbrush and toothpaste at work. Um, so 'cause I always wanted to brush my teeth after lunch or whatever.
Yeah.
But I fell into the habit every time that I was feeling stressed, right? And all the pressures of work that were cramping down on my head, I would get up and brush my teeth. And just the concept of taking that time, just being present, brushing my teeth, focusing on that, um, it made it pass. I just
Yeah.
made a move and changed the tactile sensation and changed my space out of my office, and it changed now, and it worked. Now there were days where I would brush my teeth 5, 6, 7 times, but I had to clean his dang teeth when I worked there.
Yeah. Hey, you can go into your vehicle and crank the AC and play one of your favorite songs, and just like sit there and listen to your song for 5 minutes or two songs, 10 minutes, like try that. Just try that. Maybe that'll help you hit the reset button. Music has a great way, and also changing our temperature. They both have great ways of being able to change our emotional state right now in the moment. Music triggers emotions, and if you're not
Hmm.
feeling it right now or your emotions are yucky, then go do something that's going to trigger a good emotion.
Right? Talk about change your temperature. Run cold water right here on your inside of your wrist.
Mhm.
That can cool. It's one of your spots that will cool you down the fastest. That, the back of your neck, and in your feet.
Yeah.
It's hard to, take your shoes off and put your feet in the sink at work sometimes.
Right. What are you
Hey,
doing?
what are you doing in there?
I'm hitting the reset. Brett and Tom
You
told me to
said
hit
you
the
were
reset.
combing your hair. You said you were combing your hair. What
Right.
movie's that from, huh?
Oh man, it's right on the tip of my tongue.
Mhm.
Ah,
Weird Science.
yes, that's it. You said you were combing your hair.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna blow your mind. So remember Super Mario?
Hmm.
It's me, Mario, right?
Yeah. It's
Nope.
me, Mario.
Yeah, no. Itsumi is Japanese for super. It means
Oh,
Super Mario.
Super Mario.
Uh-huh.
Mind
Itsumi.
blown.
Right? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that is.
My mind was blown when I found out that it wasn't Open Sesame.
Open open says
It's
me.
open sesame.
It's not grammatically correct, but hey, it works, I guess.
Hey, you know what? Maybe something was lost in translation. But but yeah, there's little things like that that just blow my mind, and then it makes you realize that the way we perceive the world, the way we remember things, is not always accurate.
Hmm. For sure.
How about that movie that you've been quoting for years and years, that line, and then you watch that movie again because you're like, you gotta watch this movie. We gotta watch this movie together, you know? And then you watch the movie and you've been saying that, that certain line for decades, and then it's not how it was.
So I got a story about that. So I love all movies and I quote them and like, whatever. But I sat and made my family watch The Golden Child because
Oh,
I always say, I want the knife
yeah.
for Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
Sat and made my family watch it years ago and they were like, this is terrible.
Right.
I'm like, what is the matter with you people?
Isn't it funny?
I want the knife.
Yeah. Remember, you know that uncomfortable feeling when you have romanticized a movie, in your mind, and then you're just like, I remember this from childhood. This is like one of the greatest movies. I remember the lines, I remember the characters. I think about it from time to time, and then you're to your, spouse or your family or whatever. You're like, you got to watch this movie, and you're watching it, and you're all excited, and they're watching it like,
Yeah, what's this?
what the? Yeah. And
I
they're like
watched.
rolling their eyes, and then you're just like, no, but wait, it gets better.
Yeah, how we remember things. I used to love Fletch, Chevy Chase's
Oh
Fletch.
yeah. Yeah.
And in college, we had it on VHS. That takes you all back to how old I am. But we would play that movie over and over. I probably have seen that movie in the background 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And quotes from that. I could quote that movie line for line from beginning, probably still.
Mhm.
But my favorite quotes. I'll have a steak sandwich and a steak sandwich. Hey, can I borrow your towel? I hit a water buffalo.
It's great, great, great movies. Yeah.
Yeah, no, movies take you back. And you know what? The other thing I've been doing is I have an extensive music collection on my phone. And I'm the kind of guy that will get into some kind of music, an artist or a genre, and I just will abuse it for months.
Yeah.
Right? That's all I listen to. And then I
Mhm.
move on. Right. So I go through phases of everything. And so I have all kinds of music on my
Right.
phone. Anyway,
3 months of Santana. Right.
so what I've been doing lately is just hitting like just random on my entire playlist and
Yeah.
songs that I haven't heard in years pop up. And then I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, and it takes me right back to I
Hmm.
remember this summer when this came out and we were in the pool and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So takes you back.
Oh no, we're sounding so old, aren't we?
Oh,
I remember.
no. But memories are great. I mean, we always talk about focusing on your past can be like depression, right?
Mhm.
Spending too much time in the past. Our past is our history. We can't change it. All we can do is remember it and learn from it, right? We don't want to
Right.
make the same mistakes twice, right, America? We don't want to make this. Never mind. So, and then the future is, if you spend too much time in the future, that's anxiety. So you don't want to spend too much time in the future. You don't know what the future is going to bring. It's good to plan a little bit, but you can't, plan through every possible scenario. So 90% of your time should be focused on today. What's going on
Right.
today? How do I enjoy today? How am I going to make today the best day possible?
Hmm. Right. Well,
Uh,
it's all we have today, or at least this moment. So, I
mhm,
mean, do you want to look back on the course of your life after, however long you've lived, and say, I've always lived in the future, like never
mhm,
really enjoyed, because then you feel like you miss out on things. Don't miss out on right now. Don't miss out on today.
right. And don't spend so much time in the past. I mean, it's fun to reminisce, but reminisce about the good times, The
Yeah.
old stuff, the crappy stuff, yeah, I guess you got to remember it once in a while, and learn from it. But, those old memories, the good ones, is that what you want to remember?
Hmm.
We took the kids we did a road trip, whatever. We were driving into Manhattan, and I put on Jay-Z's New York
Yeah.
and just cranked it in the car. And every time I hear that song, that's exactly what I think of.
Yeah.
Driving over I guess it was the Manhattan Bridge or the Washington Bridge, whatever.
George Washington.
Yeah, the Washington Bridge,
Mhm.
going into Manhattan. So,
Yeah. I remember playing Jay-Z on the West Side Highway, and that just seemed like right.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And of course, we had to play Eminem when we were in Detroit.
Yeah. Hmm.
Well, we did a 33-day road trip.
That
That
was good.
was that was something.
Yeah. Well, a great question to ask yourself when you're reminiscing about the past or something gets triggered in your mind and you remember maybe not so great things. How did this help me? What did I learn from that experience?
Mhm.
Something along those lines. And
Mhm.
then, hey, I learned that I really like taking road trips with my family, or I don't like taking road trips with my family, or these are the elements that were really fun, and I'd like to do that again or go back to that place.
Mhm.
What did you learn from that experience? And then move on and get yourself back into the present moment. So if you find yourself getting stuck in the past, hey, what did I learn from that? How did that help me? And
Mhm.
then how am I going to incorporate that into my life today? Because maybe you forgot some of those lessons.
Mhm. Tom, you and I were talking about before you hit the record, all the gold that we missed. But I was saying that I've had some dreams this week that have been old situations
Hmm.
that were, resolved years ago. And but I thought I had two of them this week where dreams of old things, and I was like, well, that's weird. But then I had to get into what am I supposed to learn from this? What lesson did I learn from that situation? And is
Yeah.
this lesson appearing in my life right now? So
Uh-huh.
brain is an interesting thing. It's trying to tell you something, or maybe it's not. But pay attention to it.
Sure. What can be the harm for you dissecting and saying, okay, well, what is my brain trying to do? What is it trying to come to terms with? What am I learning from that? What are the symbols in my dreams and how are they unique to me?
Mhm.
And share your dream with somebody that you trust who can laugh with you or maybe help you analyze what's going on and then come back into the present moment. Hit the reset button and come back to now.
Yeah.
I think dreams are amazing. Anytime a client was like, "Oh, I had this dream," I'm like, "Yeah, yeah,
Tell me about it. I want to
tell me
hear
about
about it.
it. Let's get
Tell me the
into it."
details of it.
Yeah. Well, and I do my best, based on what I've learned, from dream interpretation, and then of course from um, what I know about the client, because
Mhm.
the symbols in them are really unique to the person. I mean, there are some universal elements, so loosely,
Mhm.
um, since we're human beings and we have some similar experiences and a lot of similarities, more similarities than differences. So that lends itself to having some universal symbols,
Mhm.
but it's not always as accurate as it claims to be. So I use those universals loosely, but then we just delve into it and then
Mhm.
help them process things. Sometimes it's fantastic and they get tremendous insight. Light bulbs go off and it's like, ah, and then other times it's like, well, I don't know, man, that's just fucking weird.
Yeah, sometimes it's just weird.
Yeah.
I had two recurring dreams throughout my lifetime, and I haven't had them recently, but they've popped up over the years. One is like my tooth like fell out, and then it's
Uh-huh.
like, oh man, I gotta go to the dentist. Blah 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 blah.
Right.
And then another tooth falls out, and another one, and then all my teeth fall out, and it's awful. It's scary. It's frightening. It's all of those things.
Yep.
And I mean, that's a universal dream, and it just feels like you have a loss of control.
Loss of control. Yeah.
Loss of
I,
control.
I'm not controlling anything in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I have no control over anything. So,
Mhm.
yeah. Anyway, I haven't had that in a while. But the other one is, and it's high school, and I still remember the hallway, the locker, everything. But I'm in high school after like a Christmas break or something, and I can't remember the combination of my locker.
Fear strikes in.
Yeah. So again, it's kind of a control thing. It's kind of
Yeah.
like I don't have control over the things in my life.
And I'm sure, especially when you were younger, like many of you out there, you probably went to school in your underwear.
I
In your
did. I
dreams.
never, never had that one.
Oh. But I
Yeah,
mean, that's
dreams
an
are fun.
embarrassing time because we feel insecure about ourselves and our bodies, and like we're comparing ourselves to others. And, like that makes sense that that could be like a universal when you're
Mm,
young, I'll go into school and everybody's going to see me for who I am instead of this, facade or this front
mm.
that I show.
When I when I was younger, um, we had split sports and with even with gym class, we had to shower.
Yeah.
That was I don't know if they do that anymore, but I was one of the early bloomers. I hit puberty before most other people. And
Uh,
then the shower's like everyone's looking at me, and I was just like, please stop looking at me. Don't look.
Stop looking
I'm
at me, Juan.
don't look at me. I'm hideous. I felt like Chunk and Goonies.
Yep. That's another movie that I love, and every time that's like a hit the reset button for me too, watching that kind of movie. And it's funny, you play it and you or talk about it with young people, and they just
I know.
don't get
Baby Ruth.
it. You're coming home with me.
Yeah. And then Lost Boys and Wolverines.
Oh
Oh,
yeah, Wolverines. Oh, that scared the shit
ooh.
out of us,
That might be a movie we need to rewatch as a
right?
country right now.
I wonder if a movie like Wolverines or Lost Boys would hold up, with the younger generation.
Yeah.
Like, would they watch it and be like, "Oh, I like this. This is really cool," or would they just roll their eyes and be like,
Uh, when I was a kid, the movie that scared the crap out of me was Poltergeist.
"Yeah,
And
that was pretty scary."
it scared the crap out of me. So when my oldest was younger, you know how the theaters have like a throwback, like a dollar movie, an old movie that they'll play one night, whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know what he was, 12, 10, something, I don't know. And Poltergeist was playing, and I'm like, I'm gonna take you to this movie. I'm gonna scare the crap out of this kid, right? Blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So I take him to the movie, and he is just like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Not frightened whatsoever. And I'm
Right.
like, but, but, but the
Yep.
ghost and the thing and the pool scene freaked
Right.
me.
Oh gosh. It's
You
so
moved
cold.
you moved the gravestones, but left the bodies.
Right. Yeah. Remember that? Don't go into the light,
Carol Ann, don't go
Carolyn.
in, Carol
It's so cold.
Ann. We should do a show all in movie quotes, like no nothing but movie quotes.
All right. All right. Let's do that.
Oh my God, I can hear people like clicking off like within the first 30 seconds.
Let's
No,
go.
I think they'd give it a minute and then they'd be like, oh, out of here.
Mhm. Guess the movie. That's what we could do. Come up with some movie quotes and be like, "Hey, can you guess the movie? We could play a game." All right. Well, people won't tune in that week, but we'll have fun doing
But we'll have a great time.
it. We'll call the name of the show something really exciting or intriguing, so people want to listen, and then they're like, "Oh, this is what it is."
Mm. Hey, I mean, and let's talk about the age-old debate, the question that people have been asking forever, and everyone has an opinion, and everyone else's is wrong. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yeah, it's a Christmas movie for sure.
Is it? Is it Tom? I think it is too as well. But
100% Christmas.
it's a great Christmas movie.
Yeah.
That and Elf. I always watch Elf every year. I love Elf.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, we absolutely adore that movie. I mean, we used to watch it like every day, like after Thanksgiving, leading all the way up.
Mhm. I
But
ascribe to the four basic fruit groups: candy, candy
candy
corn,
canes,
candy
candy canes,
canes,
and
and
syrup.
syrup.
Yeah,
Congratulations, you have the best coffee in New York.
right. Lose the tights. No, what now? Now, as soon as possible.
Mhm. Watch the yellow ones, they don't stop.
Yeah, exactly. The gum is not free candy.
uh, Time, it's a good thing we can entertain ourselves, right?
Yeah, man, we definitely can. But it helps, you know, humor can do that too. Humor can help you hit the reset button.
Yeah, absolutely,
Hmm.
for sure. And like I said, like we were talking about earlier, don't let a bad minute equal a bad hour. Don't let a bad hour equal a bad day. Move
Yeah.
on. It is
No.
what it is. Move on.
And you know what? It makes you appreciate the things that you do have, and when things are going the way you want them to go or need them to go, even more so.
Hmm.
Because how you have the one shitty day, okay, t this morning things just weren't going the way that I wanted them to go, but it's okay. The dogs helped me to hit the reset button. But what about, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week? Like
Right.
they were relatively good days and I took them for granted. I wasn't like, wow, this is a magical day. This is a great day. It was just a normal average, day, but things worked out well, like all the prior preparation, meal planning, and like getting the clothes out for the next day, feeling ready for the workout. Like all that fell into place and it was all great, but I didn't see it until today. Now looking
Hmm.
back, reflecting, wow, I actually had a really good week,
Yeah. And don't
like,
forget confirmation bias. Your brain is going to seek out evidence for what your current theory is. So if your theory is it's a crappy day, it's going to
yeah.
find that. If your
So
theory
from
is
Sunday to today, Friday, like I've had like 5 really good days.
right.
So today wasn't a good day, but Saturday is probably going to be an amazing day.
Hmm.
Okay, day 6 was shit. Okay, or at least the morning was not that great, but my day can get better.
Absolutely.
So anyway,
And, and it's America's birthday this weekend.
yeah. So you know what? Get with family, celebrate, have some brats and burgers and American cheese and know, have some
Everything American.
cake.
Yeah. Watermelon,
Yeah, exactly. What was the other one on the thing today? So hamburgers, brats, watermelon, coleslaw.
hmm Ooh, gotta put your coleslaw on the brat.
Yeah.
Mm.
Hmm. This is how I like them. I suggest you have them the same way. That's kind of an obscure movie quote, but
All
it
right.
had Chevy Chase in it.
Was that vacation?
No,
Mhm.
no. I think it had Chevy Chase. I think it had, oh man, had Dan Aykroyd in it.
Hmm.
Go
Ghostbusters.
ahead, folks, fix yourselves up a couple of dogs. This is how I like them. I
Oh,
suggest you have them the same way.
Dr. Detroit.
Oh man, what's
Remember Dr. Detroit? That was classic.
yes. Yeah, it wasn't that. No. Okay. I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure I know the name of it. But this is some foreshadowing as to how the next the next week is gonna go when we do
Right.
movie quote fun. Yeah, Dan Aykroyd, Chevy Chase, John Candy, Demi Moore, uh,
Wow. Great lineup.
Tupac was in it.
Really?
Um,
What movie is
Digital
that?
Underground was in it. You know that band. The Hump
Yeah.
Dance.
What movie is that?
It was called Nothing But Trouble,
Oh, okay.
1991.
Wow.
Anyway, okay. So we'll have
All
fun next time.
right, Tom, well, you have a great weekend.
You do the same. But if you guys out there have questions, we're here to answer your questions. So if you want to chime in and you want us to talk about something, please do. And if not, we'll do our movie thing.
Questions at therapyunzipped.com.
That's affirmative. Having a magical day.
All right.
Bye.